The Seoul series just concluded, and it was sick. The two-game series between the Dodgers and Padres marked just the 30th and 31st game outside of the United States and Canada, and was the first set of games to be played on Korean soil. The MLB did right by having Chan-ho Park throw out the first pitch to Game 1, who had an extensive 17-year playing career and was the first ever South Korean-born major leaguer. Park now serves as an advisor for the Padres and helped recruit Ha-Sung Kim and Woo Suk-go, so you know he had to roll up in the Padgers jersey. While it didn't solicit the same response Jung-Seo did from the Dodgers dugout days prior, it was a great gesture and was a perfect way to kick off the series. However, the excitement for the series didn't just stop with being the first series in Korea. This game actually mattered. For the Dodgers and Padres, this was their opening day, as well as their first chance to showcase their talent in a game that counted towards their regular season totals. For the first time, we saw Tyler Glasnow take the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he did not disappoint, quelling the Padres' bats through 5 innings of work, striking out 3, but still struggled with some walks, allowing 4, thus giving up 2 earned runs. On the flip side of things, former Dodger Yu Darvish did much of the same, allowing 0 runs through 3 2/3 innings pitched, while also striking out 3. For as good as each pitcher was, not making it deep into the game turned more repercussive than initially thought, but we'll get to that in a minute, because as that world-renowned photographer Ken Griffey Jr., I wonder if he got any shots of Jackson Merrill, the youngest starting center fielder since, well, him. Merrill wasn't the only name in a new place, because this series also marked the first time we'd see Shohei Ohtani suit up in a Dodgers uniform for regular season play. Sport betting scandal aside, this was one of the most anticipated debuts in recent memory, and with Ohtani's known ability to show up in big moments, let's see how that first at-bat went.
Darvish to Ohtani again, reaches out, smacks it to short. There's Kim, there's Bogarts, throw to first is late. And you see one of
Well, that was lame. Ohtani would bounce back in the next at-bat, ripping this single to right field, getting his first hit as a Dodger. I wonder if he had any good odds on that. But that was really all the noise for the middle innings, as the Dodgers and Padres traded runs in the 4th, giving the Padres a 2-1 lead entering the 8th inning, when the Juan Soto trade had finally revealed itself. Most people would expect that simply losing a superstar would have impacted the Padres the most, but no, it was the returning players of Wandy Peralta and Johnny Brito, acting as double agents actively sabotaging the Padres. It all started with Peralta issuing this inning-starting walk to Max Muncy. Not ideal, but not the worst thing in the world. However, for Mike Shildt, that was enough, and he had brought on secret agent number 2, Johnny Brito, from the bullpen to avoid any further damage. Okay, it's only runners on first and second. Let's get an out to hopefully limit the Oh, come on! Bases loaded with no out is certainly not an ideal situation, and if there's ever a forgiving spot in this Dodgers lineup, this is it. And I think the Padres would take that. A sac fly does tie the game, but considering the spot, it could have been way worse. All the Padres need is a routine double play, and crisis averted. Are you serious? Ball literally went through his glove to open up the floodgates for the Dodgers, who went on to score 2 more runs via singles from Betts and Ohtani, and from that point, the game was a done deal in favor of the Dodgers. Game 2 started with another fresh face for the Dodgers on the hill, with Yoshinobu Yamamoto making his long-awaited Major League debut. However, Yamamoto's spring training struggles seemed to follow him, as he allowed 5 earned runs in the first innings, with the most impactful knock coming from the bat of Jake Cronenworth, who ripped this triple to right field, scoring 2 runs, and redeeming himself and his glove for the blunder the day before. The Dodgers certainly made a go at this game, making it close with scorelines of 10-8 and 12-11 at various points, but the Padres were able to close it out with a final score of 15-11. And just like that, the Seoul series was over. However, this video isn't. It's easy to appreciate the Seoul series for how it went, how the teams performed, and the marketing for the game. But let's take a look at what the MLB did well as what hurt the games. From the outside, it was great the MLB expanded to Korea. The game around the globe is growing, and the influx of Korean players is growing by the year. So sending over some teams to play a couple games was not only a great gesture, but a great marketing move. To go along with the 2 teams the MLB picked were also great, considering they had some of the highest percentage of their roster be Asian players. Some of that was a bit lucky, considering Yamamoto, Ohtani, and Go hadn't signed their contracts with their respective teams yet, but either way, it gave the crowd some representation. Also, picking West Coast teams in general just made more sense considering the time zone differences, and they are more likely to be viewed by Asian countries. On the bad side of things, I would argue the timing of the games didn't make too much sense. For me, it was strange to have a team have its opening day a week before everyone else, and then go back to having spring training afterwards. It makes sense for this series to happen on opening day, just because of travel times and not wanting to give another team an unfair advantage. But if you had the games on the 28th and 29th and gave the teams until the 1st to play again, I think it would give the teams ample opportunity to recover from the trip. Obviously, that cuts into the series being a standalone event, but none of the other foreign series are standalone series, so I don't see an issue. I don't know all the details behind it, so I'm sure there is some external factor that had to do with it, but it just didn't make too much sense to me to have it a full week and a half before the actual season for everyone else. Let me know what you thought of the Seoul series down below and whether it was properly timed. If you enjoyed this sort of video, please subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day.